rise. Oyez, the Honorable County Commission of the County of Putnam is now sitting in regular session to transact all business required of it by law or any other business that may come forward at this time. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Jim, I have for you your added registers for your initials, so you can pay the bills. I also have for you a order to transfer from the General County Fund to Putnam County Employee Benefit Fund the sum of $9,206.50. I have an order to transfer from the Putnam County Community Criminal Justice Fund to the General County Fund the sum of $17,599.94 for the month of February, the sum of $18,184.01 for the month of March, and the sum of $18,156.95 for the month of April.
Make a motion to approve the orders and invoices as reflected in the registers as presented by the county clerk.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And other than that, that's all I have for you tonight, and I'll be around if you need me.
See you, Brian.
Approval of prior meeting minutes.
Do you have any changes, Brian?
Minutes.
Minutes, do you have any changes?
I do not, no, sir.
Make a motion to approve prior meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Personnel payroll changes.
Make a motion to approve personnel and payroll changes as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Payment of
Yeah, missed it.
erroneous assessments, combine and divide.
Make a motion to approve the erroneous assessments as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Payment of bills.
Make a motion to approve payment of bills as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner reports, public comments for anything that's not on the agenda. Let's do commissioner reports first.
We had a transportation meeting this past Monday, May 24th. We will, at our next meeting in July it's Monday, July 26th at 9:30 a.m. in this courtroom. We'll have our semi-monthly transportation committee meeting. We will have an update on Route 35 and its soon completion. So that should be a good meeting if anybody's interested and wants to attend. That is all I have to report this time.
All right, I have on June 3rd, 2021, a Parks and Recreation Board meeting at 6 p.m. June 7th, Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting at 1:30. And then on June 8th, we have a Fire Board meeting, and we are going to in-person meetings now. So that's all I have.
Okay, we have our planning commission meeting coming up on the 18th. Workforce development met last week, and we had some good news there. There was some additional funding came in from the federal government, so we'll have more funds available for training. That's all I have on that. Anyone here that wants to speak on any issue that's not a listed item on the agenda? Seeing none. State settlements fiduciary orders?
Yes, just need a motion to authorize the president to sign the estate settlements and fiduciary orders as presented.
Make a motion to approve state settlements and fiduciary orders and authorize the president to sign as presented.
Second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll do budget revisions and orders resolutions later.
Yeah, we can do it later.
We'll do board appointments later as well.
Sure.
CCAWV essay contest, Jennifer Piercy.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jennifer Piercy, and I'm with the County Commissioners Association of West Virginia. Every year, we host an essay contest for 8th graders around the state, and it's part of an education program that we do where we like to educate our youth on functions of county government and the role that commissioners and county government play in their lives. And this year, we have a 3rd place winner from Putnam County, Miss Sophia McGovern from Winfield Middle School. And I just want to add that Ms. Withrow from Winfield Middle is also here, and she has been involved, I believe, for the past 7 years. 5, oh, okay. The past 5 years. She always has her students submit essays, and I think 4 out of the past 5 years, we've always had a winner from Putnam County. So we really
Ms.
appreciate her
Withrow, would you mind
efforts.
coming up? You don't get off that easy.
And I believe that you each have a copy of Sophia's essay, or you should. If not, I have a copy for you.
Well, we have a resolution here, Sophia. We appreciate your interest, and we hope you learned something about the County Commission. President Foster may ask you a couple questions here after we read this resolution, so hope you've studied up. The resolution states, whereas Sophia McGovern, an 8th grade student from Winfield Middle School, won 3rd place in the County Commissioners Association of West Virginia 2021 County Government Essay. And whereas Ms. McGovern, along with her siblings, enjoy getting books from the Putnam County Library. And whereas Ms. McGovern feels the park is a nice place to have a picnic, relax, exercise, and for her energetic sister to play. And whereas Ms. McGovern recognized the firefighters for making her feel safe during a controlled burn of an old house, be it therefore resolved that we, the Putnam County Commission, hereby recognize, commend, and appreciate Sophia McGovern for her CCAWV essay dated this 27th day of May, 2021, signed by all 3 commissioners and our county clerk. Congratulations.
Commissioners there, we'll take a photo. You can just walk around the corner there, brother. Yes, ma'am. You want to do that? Mama?
You pulling up. Get that picture.
Put the rose between the thorns here. All right, skid on in there, teach. All right, everybody good? Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just to make sure. Yeah. We had presented to us from some of the members of the state legislature, legislative citation recognizing county officials and personnel, and that goes for all of them in the county, for being essential workers and working through the recent COVID crisis. Oath and certification, land books, Gary Warner, Assessor.
I'll make a motion to approve oath and certification of land books as presented by our assessor, Gary Warner.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Delinquent tax list.
I make a motion that we accept the delinquent tax list as presented by our chief tax deputy.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing related to Par Industrial Company, Daya Case 2021-06, and decision by the County Commission following the public hearing. Larry, you want to proceed first, or you want
We
Par
can.
Industrial?
Actually, yes, actually, under the ordinance, the DAA board does have to go first.
Okay.
And I don't know how the commission wants to do it, whether they want Tina to testify as a witness or do a narrative, but we're prepared to go either way that you prefer.
Whatever you think is necessary in order for us to have an appropriate record.
Okay, I'll call Tina Peck then as a witness. Mr. Clerk, if you could administer an oath. Right. Could you state your name for us?
Tina Peck.
Are you employed?
Yes,
Where and in what capacity?
I am the county planner for the Office of Planning and Infrastructure.
Right. Are you also associated with the work that is being done by the dilapidated and abandoned enforcement agency?
Yes,
And how are you familiar with that?
sorry.
How are you familiar with the DAA board or the DAA agency?
I work as a DAA representative where I go out and inspect properties and put the cases together. And
In your capacity with the dilapidated and abandoned enforcement agency, are you familiar with a company known as Par Industrial Company?
yes,
How are you familiar with that company?
I've received a written complaint on January 28th, which stated that the fencing is dilapidated and going into the creek, so I went out and inspected that property.
And when was it that you received that complaint?
I received the complaint on January 28th, 2021.
Was that a written complaint, or was that just something that was called in?
It was a written complaint.
And you said that after you received that, you went out and did an on-site inspection?
Yes,
When was that done in relation to January 28th?
February the 4th.
And you personally are the one who went out and did the inspection?
Yes.
What did you observe when you went to the location?
That the fencing, which takes up the entire length of both parcels, 91.1 and 91.2, is severely dilapidated. Most has collapsed, rusted, or has graffiti. The parcel also has debris, overgrown vegetation, and refuse.
And you've given us a tax map and a parcel number. Can you tell us where that is located?
It's located on Scary Creek Road. There is no exact address because there's no structure, like a house built on it.
And that property, do you know what county that property is located?
Putnam County.
All right, after you did the initial inspection, did you do anything else?
Yes, I sent a notice of complaint to Par Industrial Company.
And why did you send that to Par Industrial Company? How did you know to send it to them?
According to our ordinance, we have to send in a notice to them since
how
they
did
were
you-
under the former ordinance. Yes.
How did you know to send it to Par, though, as opposed to anybody else in the county?
Because they are the owner of the property.
How did you determine that they were the owner?
Through the deed and sheriff's tax receipts.
All right. So you were able to determine the current landowner for that piece of property, or those pieces of property?
Yes.
While you were there doing your inspection, did you take any photographs?
Yes.
And the photographs that you took, did they fairly and accurately depict the scene that you observed while you were there?
Absolutely.
And I think you indicated that following your inspection, you had sent a letter to Par,
Yes.
and was that a certified letter,
Yes.
return receipt?
Yes.
Did anyone receive that letter and sign for it?
Yes.
And how do you know they received it and signed for it?
It was dated with a signature.
And there was, if it's a certified mail return receipt, was there a green card that was attached to it?
Yes.
Did that ever get returned to you by the U.S. Postal Service?
Yes.
And have you maintained that in your file?
Yes.
And what was the purpose, or what did the letter say, just in general terms?
Since they were under the former ordinance, they had to send in a written response within 30 days
And the response was,
of the time frame and cleanup of the property.
and did you receive such a response within the 30-day time period?
No.
And do you know on what date that letter was signed for?
Yes. That was April. No, sorry. Yes, they signed for it on February the 17th, 2021.
All right. Since you didn't get a response within that 30-day time period, did you do anything, or did anything else take place?
Yes, I did another inspection on April 1st, and the case was brought before the DAIA board on April the 8th, 2021, and they directed the county planner to file a petition and a formal complaint to the county commission.
And when you went out to inspect the property on April the 1st, 2021, had there been any change from the time that you were out there initially, and I think it was on February 4th?
Yes, nothing has changed. It was in the same condition as it was in the initial inspection.
And you say that it was, after you went out there on April the 1st, you then presented that to the DAIA board?
Yes,
They directed you to prepare a complaint and present that to the county commission?
yes,
Did you in fact do that?
I did.
when was that presented to the county commission?
April 13th, 2021.
And did the county commission take any action at that time?
Yes, they approved the petition and the orders, and it was submitted to the county clerk's office for the recording, and that was sent out to the property owner.
So after it was approved by the county commission, that complaint was sent to the property owners, the registered property owners?
Yes,
And again, did you send it out by certified mail or by regular mail?
certified mail.
Return receipt?
Yes,
Do you know if any, do you have any evidence that it was received by somebody from PAR Industries?
yes, they signed and dated it on April 22nd, 2021.
And again, did that have one of those green cards attached to it?
Yes,
Did it ever get returned to you or the planning office?
yes.
And did anything happen after the that letter was sent to PAR Industries?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Did any, after that letter was sent to PAR Industries and signed for, did anything else take place?
Yes, the Par Industrial Company's lawyer, Tim LaFawn, requested a public hearing for today, or
And that-
actually, for May the 11th, 2021.
And had PAR been informed at the time that if they wanted a hearing, was that part of the letter that you sent it, that it had to request it in writing?
Yes, they had to request that in writing within 10 days.
And so that hearing was in fact requested,
Yes,
and it was scheduled, I think, said for May the 11th?
yes,
Did a hearing take place on May the 11th?
no.
Why?
They just wanted to reschedule it.
And was it in fact rescheduled?
Yes,
And when was it rescheduled?
May 27th, 2021.
During these proceedings?
Yes,
Other than I think it was, you were out there on April the 1st, 2021. Did you ever go back subsequent to that and do another inspection?
yes, I did another inspection after that,
And when did that take place?
May the 24th.
And what were your observations regarding the conditions of that inspection?
Nothing has changed, it's the same as the initial inspection.
Do you have any exhibits?
Yes,
And what exhibits do you have?
yeah. I have Exhibit A, public hearing packet, findings of facts. Exhibit B, certified and attested deed. Exhibit C, sheriff's tax receipts. And Exhibit D, complainant data complaint.
And are you asking that those be admitted at this time as an exhibit?
Yes,
Commissioners, at this time, we'd ask that those be admitted as exhibits for this purpose of this hearing.
You need a motion or just prove it?
Yeah, just so it'll be in the record.
Make them part of the record.
I also have a certified copy of the DAA order that was in effect at the time. It was entered non-pro-tunc as of June 6, 2006. It's a certified copy from the county clerk's office, and I'd also like that to be admitted into the evidence as well.
It is entered.
And other than that, I don't think I have any further questions at this time.
Either of you commissioners have questions?
I do not.
Not this time.
Can I ask her just a few questions?
Sure.
Ma'am, and by the way, I've dealt with her, but I want to say this besides this hearing, I've dealt with her. This is the kindest, most gentlest, wonderful woman. She has been so kind to me, and I wanted to let you know that. You actually went out and looked at this property, correct?
Yes.
I saw the pictures that you presented. I saw pictures of the fence, but I didn't see a picture of any debris, vegetation, or overgrown areas. All I saw was fences. Are there other pictures?
There's a picture of a fence that has a tree that's actually fallen over. Yes.
This property is woods, isn't it? Isn't that what it basically is area of woods?
I would think so.
You do or do not think so?
I think most of it is. yes.
Okay. And there's no buildings on there, and there's no houses on there. There's nothing on there that would give you any indication that this property is for human habitation. Isn't that true?
Yeah, no one lives there.
Okay. And you don't have any evidence to present that it's even open to the public, correct?
What do you mean open to the
No,
public?
It's private property with no trespassing signs on it, isn't it?
I have not seen a no trespass.
Okay, but you don't have any evidence that the public is allowed to go on that property, correct?
I didn't see any no trespassing sign.
Okay. And you don't have any evidence that it's not safe for the public because the public's not allowed on there, right?
Again, I did not see any no trespassing signs, so anyone can actually go onto that property.
Well, would they be a trespasser if they did?
I have no idea. I don't know the laws on that, but there's no signs out there that
The
keeps it
the
from.
statute's intended to protect from dilapidated buildings and gives the county commission the ability to control dilapidated structures. There aren't any structures on there, are there?
The fence is a structure, actually.
Okay, so we're talking about the fence. So let's suppose the fence wasn't there. Let's suppose PAR removes that fence. It's just a set of woods then, correct?
I guess you could say that, but it's also someone's property.
Well, you certainly don't take the position that the county commission could require somebody to clear their woods off their property just because they don't like it, would you?
We're not asking to clear the woods, we're actually asking to clear a dilapidated fence.
Okay, so if they clear the fence, then they comply with the statute. Is that what you're saying?
Yes?
All right, I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
I have a question. Could you pull up the exhibit that includes the deed?
Yes. Okay.
Have you got it?
Yes.
Okay, would you go on the first page of that deed, and would you read into the record where it starts, it's about the third paragraph down, the parties to the first part? And read the remainder of that page, if you would.
The parties of the first part hereby declare that the total consideration paid for the property conveyed by this document is $2 million.
Continue, please, the next paragraph.
Intended to be the same premises as conveyed by FMC Corporation to Avtex Fibers Incorporated by deed dated August 16th, 1976, and recorded in the office of the clerk of the County Commission, Putnam County, West Virginia, on August 19th, 1976, in deed book 218, page 431, and as further conveyed by Avtex Fibers Incorporated, the Nitro Leasing Corporation by deed dated March 29th, 1978, and recorded in said clerk's office on April 12th, 1978, in deed book 231, page 304.
Okay, and I would convey that by common knowledge in this area, FMC Corporation is a chemical company. I would also like for you to now go up and read the line above where you started, or the paragraph above where it says this conveyance.
This conveyance is made subject to restrictions, encumbrances, liens, and all other matters of record. The parties hereto acknowledge that portions of the real property described in Exhibit A have heretofore been used as a dump site.
As a dump site. So it's not just a parcel of woods, is that correct?
That's correct.
According to the deed,
Well, first of all, that's a faulty conclusion. There are 10 parcels included on that, the bulk of which are not even located in the same area.
okay, they paid $2 million for the property. That's what it states in the deed, right?
All the parcels, not just.
And there's a fence up, and people wouldn't normally go build a fence along the road just for the purpose of building a fence along the road. I think a reasonable person could conclude, and should conclude, that there's something in there that they don't want people on the property. I believe that Ms. Peck did speak accurately that if there's not a trespassing sign on there, that you're not necessarily trespassing under state law, but that's a matter for an attorney, a matter of legal judgment, I guess, not something that she would be able to answer. But I would contend that if they paid $2 million for a piece of property, all the property, are you saying that this is a large parcel of property?
There are separate parcels.
How many acres are on the property?
I mean, they're quoted in the deed on the attachment.
Do you have that answer?
It's attached to the deed, there.
57.62, .61, .61, 4.38, 6.32,
Yeah, and what this parcel.
6.23.
is one of the smaller ones of those. Yeah.
So there's, if I total all this up, it's certainly not hundreds of acres. It's probably less than 100 acres. Land in that area, I think anybody that's buying forest land in this area wouldn't be paying $2 million for that. So there's something in there. I'm not opposed to getting the DEP out and find that if that's what you would like for us to do. Or we can just rule on this fencing, whether we get it approved or not, to have them fix it.
In fact, if you believe there's environmental contamination, you're supposed to refer to the DEP or another entity like that. And if the reason for your invocation of this statute is because you believe there's environmental contamination according to your own statute, you're supposed to refer it to those entities.
Well, we may take that up as to whether we do that. However, the structure itself is certainly dilapidated by the photos. So, I mean, we have the right to order that structure to be corrected. And that's what we're here having this meeting for today. So, do you other commissioners have any other questions about it?
No, sir, I agree with you. No, sir, I do not.
I mean, would you care to state what the landowners intend to do they have an intention to repair the fence or remove the fence, or?
I really don't know the answer to that. I guess it's going to entirely depend on what you order, and I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I mean, it's their position that the statute's not applicable to this particular type of situation. This is not an uninhabitable structure or an area that's set aside for human traffic and that kind of thing. But that's your call you got to make, and then I guess they'll react from there.
Okay.
Our code also allows us to unsafe situations, circumstances within the county. Obviously, with the condition that fence is in, if a kid gets back in there and crawls across it, it is something that could cause a danger and a hazard to any individual, not just a child, but any individual. So I would be of the position that we do need to have that dilapidated structure repaired. I will make that motion.
Second that.
Got a motion, a second, any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Larry, what else do you need from us?
That will do it, I think. Other than, I think the complaint that was sent out had recommendations in it.
Okay.
Just,
So I'll change my motion to include the recommendations that are included in the complaint.
I think so.
Yeah, Mr. LaFawn, if you look at the photos, there is some debris, actually trees and stuff down over the structure, so that would need to obviously be removed as well.
You need a second. Or did the motion?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a time to speak? I live on Sherry Creek. I've been there 35 years. That fence has never been anything done to it. That fence at times, you want me to look at the road?
Yeah.
Well, we've already ruled, and there,
Well, there's some other issues. You want me to go there Friday?
Up to the commissioners.
come on up. Please make it quick.
The fence is an issue there, but there's larger issues on the other side of that property. I've lived there 35 years. You can drive by, especially in the mornings when there's not much breeze. There's a terrible odor like rotten eggs. You can go by there at times and you can see a white substance oozing out of the ground. There's been times that fence has fallen in the road. The Department of Highways has had to come push it out. And the trees, there's all kinds of trees falling. There's a place where the fence is gone. People dump trash. Chuck Holleran, DNR, I've called him. I've gotten names and stuff out of the trash. It's a dump. It's a known for drug activity. There's a little place there where the fence is gone. But the biggest issue is, like you said earlier, what's in there. I mean, there's something that smells. You can see a substance come out of the ground. And like I said, I've been there 35 years, and it's just getting worse.
Larry, do we have a way to refer that to the DEP in order to go ahead and have that further researched?
We are in the process. I think Ms. Peck has attempted to make contact with DEP. We did get a return phone call today, and one of the things we're going to ask them is to give us a complete list of any hazardous sites that they have identified in Putnam County, and from that, we'll have an idea.
I have a list that is large that I actually received today myself, so I'll provide that to you all. As it relates to this, do you need an order from the commission in order to turn that over to the DEP, or are you just going to do that as a matter of our ordinance?
The ordinance actually says that if it is deals with seepage or something like that, that we are to refer it, so we have the authority to, Thea has.
If you wanted to write something and present it to our planning office, then they can send that along with
Now,
the information to the DEP.
I sure will. The DEP has been there. I was going out one day, stopped, and they said there was a odor, but they said they recently put a sewer pump station in. But I told them, I said, no, it's not the pump station. You know, this has been going on for years. You come through here at the right time. I mean, it's a terrible odor like rotten eggs. And of course, that was, it was a chemical dump, for years.
Well,
And it's the fence is minor to what could be on the other side of that. I mean, the fence is an eyesore. It is bad.
Well, if we get the fence rebuilt, that'll keep people out of there, which if there is something bad in there, that'll protect them. This property was transferred the 30th day of December 1982. It's been a long, long time, and less than 100 acres selling for $2 million back in 1982.
And
I don't think it takes a genius to figure out there's something in there we don't know
You see
about.
the property one side straight up and down, and the railroad's got the property coming to it.
Okay, we're on it.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
This is proposed.
So, Larry, we need an order to approve the order for the hearing today?
We thought we would do that because it was,
We changed it.
yeah, it's just part of the record.
Okay.
It was originally set on the 11th, and this just indicates that it was moved on their behalf to today's proceeding.
I'll make a motion to approve the order regarding case number 2021-06 to approve the hearing for May 27th at 5:30 PM.
Second.
Have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. make a motion to approve the order regarding case number 2021-06, regarding the recommendations and results of the public hearing as have been presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ms. Peck, would you mind, we have a whole lot of people here for something towards the end of the agenda. Would you mind if we took that up and then come back to some of yours?
Don't mind at all. Yeah,
Okay.
take your time.
All right, we'll do that.
We'll make it part of the record.
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to drop down, with the permission of the other commissioners, we're going to drop down and pick up the decision to provide additional funding to WVU Extension Office fiscal year 2022. Ben, do you want to come up and give a short, just a short presentation, because we had a private long one earlier? Just to have it into the record.
Okay, so, in the private meeting, I gave an overview about what extension does. Hold on. Kind of what we do, plans to how we're gonna improve past issues in the office, our current plans, what we hope to accomplish with future goals, some new programs we have talked about and presented the budget. You know, as the commissioners requested after the last meeting, we submitted a proposal with side-by-side comparisons of all the numbers between the BOE, County Commission, and W's contribution. We also got additional funding from the Board of Education of about $26,000. Part of with that, W's contribution, if the commission was willing to match the BOE's contribution, we would be able to, W will be able to also provide funding to help support a 4-H position, a position dedicated just to 4-H. So, and I think that was, pretty much it in a nutshell, I believe, so.
Okay. I'll just reiterate, I sit on the Extension Board, and when we had, the commissioners and myself had budget hearings in early March, and the discussion of extension, at that time, we actually didn't have a formal request before us. The Extension Office, in my opinion, even as a board member at that time, was not heading in the right direction. So the commission made a decision to cut funding in our proposed budget. Like we had hoped, we got a response from West Virginia University, and we've had multiple meetings since then. There's been a lot of changes within the Extension Office. When you were before us at our last meeting, we asked you to go and look at other sources of funding, which you have done. We appreciate that. And look at giving us some measurables of the impact Extension Office has within the residents of Putnam County. So, and with your presentation, it looks like, in my opinion, that the ship is turned around and heading in the right direction. Thank you.
I don't have anything. I think you're doing a great job, Ben, so far, and we're just glad to see it.
Ben, I would like to say that you did step up to the plate on some of the things that I'd asked for at the last meeting. I am disappointed in the amount that the Board of Education came up with. The Board of Education gets way more than 80% of the revenue that comes into this county. The county gets, 20 million, they get probably 100 plus. So I'm disappointed in the amount that they were willing to put in there. I'd like for you to go back to them and do that again would be one thing. Another thing is I think everybody on the commission, everything I've heard, fully supports 4-H and wants to do all that we can. Unfortunately, WVU is the only resource under state law that allows us to do that. But I have some major concerns. And just a little bit of research on WVU and some of the policies that have come out here recently have given me grave concern. One of them is a speech done by President, I guess you pronounce that, Guy, on June 19th of 2020. And it was during the riots and protests that were going on all over this nation. And what he did was he had a meeting and decided what WVU was going to do about it. One of the things he stated in his speech there was, to begin, I will personally be establishing teams that will address racism and racial inequality within our university system. So what he's saying there is that racism exists in the University of West Virginia University, which, if that's true, that's a sad condition for WVU to be in. I did a little additional research. He appointed 4 different groups that he started during this period of time. One of them just happens to be the School of Social Work, Anti-Racism, and this is what they list as their priorities. Their priorities: consulting and collaborating with faculty and students to effectively engage in difficult conversations and facilitating education on anti-racism, equity, justice, and white privilege and supremacy. Number 2 is organizing and promoting professional development activities for students, faculty, staff, and practitioners on topics such as Black Lives Matter movement, systemic and anti-racism, white privilege, and supremacy, criminal justice reform, and institutional change. Number 3, identifying and sharing curricular resources to further and enhance educational content on anti-racism, white privilege, and supremacy, equity, and justice. I'm appalled by that. I just can't imagine that our university is looking at Putnam counties as countyans, as white supremacists, and or have white privilege. I know the people of Putnam County. They're good people. All they do is they get out and they work hard.
I would say they're great people. I agree with you on that. Putnam County residents, they're a great community. I agree with you on that.
Well, I'm disappointed that we don't have some other choice to go to than a university that puts out this kind of garbage. Once again, I think that the people of Putnam County receive people of all races, irregardless of their color, their creed, their religion, whatever, and they've been the most kind society I've ever been involved with. So I just have some real problems. If I had another alternative, I would not approve anything going to WVU to be teaching our kids this kind of stuff. I hope, and that's why I asked the questions in a private meeting, is how you all were trained. Were y'all trained in this kind of stuff? The white privilege is going on and you know,
I've never
white
seen
supremacy in West Virginia, Putnam County?
Nope.
My recollection is that we left Virginia, and people fought and died to prevent this kind of stuff, but that's what the university is still, I mean, it's in your curricula. That's a part of it. It's very disappointing. So I do want you to go back to the Board of Education and see if you can get more money from them. I want the 4-H people to be proud of who they are and where they come from, and I want to try to support them in any way that I can.
I mean, my goal is to keep growing this program. I mean, this was the get back for this year. This is a starting point. This is not the end point. We want to keep growing this program out for 4-H, not just 4-H, the ag side, and the family consumer sciences. So, I mean, this is to get through this year, and we're definitely going to explore new options and more options for funding. Like I said, my goal is to keep this program growing and keep it moving in the right direction. So,
One thing I'll say to that, Ben, is also, you know, I believe we haven't had a 4-H agent since July 1st, 2019. And part of this proposed budget, we have not an agent, but a representative for 4-H for Putnam County. So for me, that was crucially important that was addressed. So I appreciate the efforts to get that put into the budget. You have anything?
Tony, you got anything? Yeah, go ahead.
My name's Tony Michael. I'm Director of Family and Community Development, part of the Extension Leadership Team. And I appreciate the Commission's discussion earlier. I think that Extension's focus is obviously to address the needs and concerns of this county. Commissioner Foster, President Foster, your concerns are your concerns. I don't think it was fair to ally those to Ben, because Ben can't speak for President Gee. Ben can't speak for the entire university, nor can I. And none of the things that you brought up are things that Extension is directly involved in. We presented to you, I think, a very focused and very reasonable address of Putnam County's concerns. And I hope that the commission will take that into consideration. It is perfectly reasonable to always want to seek more funding. We want to do that, but we can only do that if we have the capacity to do so. And failure to increase the funding will absolutely decrease our capacity to serve your county. So please consider that in your decision. Thank you.
Mr. Ellis, you have any comments or concerns?
Well, I would like to go with Ben's recommendation. As far as the Board of Education does need to put in more, but I believe that the county, if for this year, the county goes to the 60,000, like the Board of Education, keeps all the programs going in the county, I'm all for that. You know, quarrels with WVU aside, I say we go ahead with the $60,000, match the Board of Education, and continue everything going.
You make that motion?
Yes, motion. I'll make that motion.
Again, I think the important aspect of this was having a direct representative with our 4-H program. As we can see here, there's a lot of support for 4-H, and it has an impact on our community. So I think that was very important that this is in the budget being presented to Putnam County, gets somebody dedicated to that programming. With that being said, I will second the motion from Commissioner Ellis to approve funding of $60,360 as been presented.
Yeah, I would prefer that we go back to the Board of Education and ask for additional funding from the Board of Education. They certainly can afford it more than the County Commission can. And this will be a $45,000 roughly adjustment to our budget, is that correct? $35,000, which is not insignificant. It is a huge change to it. But I have a motion and a second. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Nay. We'll go on to the next item. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Okay, we're going to go now back to decision regarding formal complaints received by the Office of Planning and Infrastructure, and recommend for the County Commission action by the Day Board on case number 2021-09.
I'm petitioning the County Commission to accept and file complaint for case number 2021-09, property owner Margaret Ann Osley. If you choose to hear the petition, you can sign the order that the same be accepted and filed. The last order in the packet that I'm going to give you depends upon your determination after hearing the evidence presented. A written complaint was received on March the 3rd, 2021. The inspection was conducted on March the 3rd, 2021. for property located at 178 Margaret Drive, Nitro, West Virginia, tax map 226E, parcel 94. There are before and after pictures for your examination. Public records indicate that the landowner of the property is Margaret Ann Osley. A copy of the deed and tax records are attached as Exhibit B. That as a result of the on-site inspection, it was determined that due to a structure or structures or the accumulation of refuse or debris on private property that existed, and that the conditions are unsafe, unsanitary, dangerous, or detrimental to the public safety and welfare, and should be repaired, altered, improved, vacated, removed, closed, cleaned, or demolished. The landowners were notified by certified letter. The property has been identified as a nuisance and a possible health hazard. That unless the landowners notify the Putnam County Office of Planning and Infrastructure within 30 days of a plan to remedy the matter, a complaint would be formally filed with the County Commission. The landowners signed for the certified letter on March the 6th, 2021. Return receipt and or proof of personal service is attached as Exhibit C. The landowners have failed to respond with an appropriate plan within that 30 days of receipt of the certified letter. Day of thereafter, reconsider the matter to determine whether its previous findings still existed. And upon a determination that the previous conditions still existed, the DEA directed county engineer or other technically qualified county employee or consulting engineer to prepare a complaint listing the specific findings of the investigation and to make recommendations for cleanup. And that these recommendations shall include the demolition of the dilapidated structure and demolished debris, as well as overgrown vegetation, trash, refuse, and any other debris from off the lot of record.
Does anyone live in this structure?
I
Is it inhabited?
The last time I went to do an inspection, there was a car there. I sent a letter out to Miss Osley, and she never responded. I wanted to talk to her about that, because I don't know.
If this is as good as Miss Mosley can do, I'm fine with that. I don't want to put any, but if it's just sitting vacant, that's a whole other thing. And I see that they burn trash in the front yard. That's not where you burn trash. But
Is there only one after picture?
Yes,
Okay.
so there's some before pictures that should have a label on them to show you the inspection dates.
Are we to understand that the only change is in this after picture is where they burn what looks like to be a big mattress or something?
Yeah, so they
And
burnt
everything
that.
else is still the same?
Yes, they burnt that, and all the trash and stuff on the front porch is gone. There are some boarded up windows that says keep out, which kind of makes me think it is vacant. I don't know if you can see that, but not all the windows are that way. But, yeah.
In your opinion, Ms. Beck, is the property still dilapidated?
It could use some updating, I guess. I've seen worse, but,
maybe
I mean,
we should find out who,
if they actually live there.
if she's elderly, maybe some of the churches
I can
help.
go knock on the door and see.
Do you go to these sites by yourself?
Yes, all of these that you have seen in the past 9 months, yes.
Do we have
Get a
anything in the
deputy.
budget for bulletproof vests, Larry?
I would go, I can go do that. I would volunteer for that.
Really? Okay.
You give me the address, or I have
Yeah,
the
it's on
address.
there, yeah.
I'll make it a point to go.
Oh,
And
that's
find out,
awesome.
and find out who lives here. If it in fact is abandoned, tear it down. But if
Yeah.
somebody does live Grace Castle.
Right.
Okay?
Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Okay, so we have the option, and we've taken the position in the past that we go ahead and proceed with them, and then they still have time to clean them up later. So that's where we're at this point, correct?
This
Because
is
we're
the
not at
point.
the point of levying fines or anything, so I see no
No.
reason to hold this up. The house itself looks like, to me, it's about ready to fall in. Certainly the porch is in awful condition.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
It is dangerous, it is dilapidated. I think we should move forward with it, but then give Commissioner Ellis a chance to go out and see if he can get them to speed up the process and maybe get some corrections made to the dilapidated portion of the house, and we have time to do that while we're still moving through the
So
process.
moving forward, what's our time frame before it comes back before us?
Yeah, so then they have 10 days after they receive the formal complaint to request a public hearing.
Okay.
And
And
if
they
they
have-
don't request that, then it comes as a final order. And then they have 60 days after
Okay.
that.
So we're still early in the process.
We're already in
Yeah,
the process.
very early.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with case number 2021-09 regarding the complaint as it's been issued today.
Second?
Have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Case number 2021-11.
Property owners are Teddy J. and Joseph Bailey. Attached are photographs taken during the May 24th, 2021 inspection. The abandoned car has been removed. Debris on the front porch has been removed as well. The only thing that I saw was the grass looks like it needs mowed. So the county commission can make a determination to either close the case or serve the final order. So,
Well, I don't want to get in the habit of requiring everybody to mow the yard, or we'd be at this all day, every day. So if the major improvements have been made, I would make a motion that we dismiss this one. Are you convinced that everything is cleaned up other than mowing? Okay.
yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Case number 2021-05.
Okay, this is a property owner, Appalachian Power Company, has failed to request a public hearing. Therefore, a final order is being submitted today. On May the 26th, 2021, another inspection revealed that although 2 junk vehicles have been removed, 1 car frame remains with a lot of car parts, old tires, and other debris. So I've included before and after pictures for you guys today, or you guys, I'm sorry, for the commissioners today.
So we're at the point now where we can issue a fine?
No, this is the final order.
So
They have 60 days after this.
after this final
Yeah.
order? Okay, they obviously still have work to do. I'll make a motion that we continue on with case number 2021-05 with the final order as it's been presented.
Second?
Have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Need a sign. I want to make sure we get all of them signed for you before you leave.
Okay, thanks.
Need a sign. Ms. Peck, which ones did you need us to sign so far? Make sure we got,
So, you know, the 2 public hearing orders
We signed
for
that.
PAR. Then you have one for,
Par.
sorry. One for Margaret Ann Osley, which is 2021-09.
Have we went through all of them that you had for us?
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Okay, so this is one.
We dismissed Teddy's, Joseph's.
think I'm missing some. Let's make sure we get it right.
Good double check. There's a,
Check those out, let me know which one we missed.
Should have 2021-05.
Do you have 2021-05?
Yes,
So we don't need that.
2021-11.
2021-11? That's the one we removed.
Yeah, that's Bailey's.
now that case was dismissed. 2021-11 was dismissed.
I'm
Just
sorry?
2021-11 was dismissed.
Yes, okay. I've
You don't
got
have
that.
an order yet.
And did you need anything from us on 2021-09?
I have it, yes.
You have it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you're missing? Okay, good deal. Have we dealt with that one yet?
No.
Let's deal with it now.
Okay, 2019-03 is property owner John Cook, which is 55 Marina Park in Hurricane, tax map 223G, parcel 119, is up for sanctions. The property owner was granted a 30-day extension on April 20th, 2021. However, on May 24th, 2021, another inspection was conducted and concluded the property is in the same condition as initial inspection on June the 6th, 2019. And there's photographs for you. The only thing that has changed is the overgrown vegetation has gotten bigger.
What do you need from us on this one?
I'm sorry.
What do you need from us on this
This
one?
is the sanction stage, so there's no order for this, right? Yeah. So you just make a motion if you want to go ahead with the sanctions and how much.
But the
And then-
financial things, okay.
Then I send a letter. If you decide to dismiss it, we can dismiss it. It's up to your determination
No,
today.
Clean it up.
This has gone on since May of 2019, so we're on 2 years.
Yeah.
Or with our ordinance, we can submit a fine up to $100 a day, is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm fine with instituting the fine of $100 a day immediately until we get a response.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
I've got a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing on the petition of the fiduciary supervisors to remove David M. Atkins Esquire as executor of the estate of Thomas Wayne Milam.
Yes, Commissioners, Thomas Wayne Milam passed away on July the 14th, 2020, and at the time he was a resident of Putnam County. He left a valid will, and that was admitted to probate in the fiduciary office, and the will named David M. Atkins to serve as the executor for the estate. Mr. Atkins came in on July the 31st, 2020, and was appointed as executor of the estate. Bond was set at $315,000, and it was posted through Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America. Mr. Atkins was informed, Mr. Atkins is an attorney, by the way. He was informed at that time that he had to return to the fiduciary office, what we call the appraisement. Everything that is in the decedent's estate had to be reported to us within 90 days of his being appointed. So it would have been due on October the 29th, 2020. A letter was sent to Mr. Atkins on December the 3rd, 2020, reminding him that the appraisal was past due. We received a letter from Mr. Atkins dated January the 7th, 2021, acknowledging receipt of the December 3rd letter. about the overdue appraisement. The letter indicated that he intended to file the appraisement within 30 to 45 days. On April the 20th, 2021, fiduciary office again sent Mr. Adkins a letter informing him that the appraisement was overdue and asking him to file the appraisement as soon as possible. On May the 7th, 2021, another letter was sent to Mr. Adkins informing him that unless the appraisement form was filed by May the 21st, 2021, that the matter would be brought before this county commission on May the 27th at 5:30 p.m. The letter further informed him of the date, time, and place, and that he had the right to appear to protect his interest. Since the letter was sent on May the 7th, well, actually, we have not heard from Mr. Atkins since his letter dated January the 7th, 2021. The matter has been open in our office since July 14th, 2020, and we have not received the appraisement at this point. As a result, nothing can be done on the case. It is simply languishing there. So it is my recommendation that you remove Mr. Atkins as executor of the estate of Thomas Milam, but that you order that his bond that was previously posted remain in force and effect. That Mr. Atkins be ordered to submit a final accounting of all the receipts and disbursements that were made by him from the date of his appointment until today's date, and that one of the beneficiaries of the estate be given an opportunity to come forward and be appointed as fiduciary of the estate, provided they can post a required bond, and that way they can complete the administration of the estate. I will indicate that there is a clause in Mr. Milam's will that if any of the heirs or beneficiaries to the estate challenges anything in the will, that they lose their right to inherit or get any bequeathed under the will. So we have not at this point approached any of the beneficiaries or the heirs under the will, simply because we didn't want that to be interpreted as they were challenging something or causing some problem in the estate. So I would recommend that we give the heirs or beneficiaries an opportunity to come forward, potentially to complete the administration of the estate. And if that doesn't happen within a reasonable time, then we can always bring it back before the commission and ask that the sheriff be appointed.
Given the fact that Mr. Atkins is an attorney, he should know what the rules and regulations were presented to him. I make a motion that we remove David M. Atkins from the estate of Thomas Wayne Milam, and that his bond stay into effect as it's been presented.
Is Mr. Atkins here? I just want to make sure he's not here. Okay.
I'll second.
Having a motion and a second. Any discussion? I do. Are you going to reach out to the beneficiaries to see who wants to proceed as executor?
Yes, sir. We will touch bases with them and see if any of them
Are any of them here tonight by any chance? Okay. So you all will reach out to them. I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Discussion and possible decision to appoint Tina Peck as director of the DAIA program.
Commissioners, I put that on the agenda. As you are aware, the DAIA program for many years, quite frankly, wasn't very active. But since Ms. Peck has come on board as a planner in the planning office, she has taken over the role of working with the DAIA board. She has very diligently worked on these cases, and I think we are starting to see some of the results as a result of all the work that she's putting into it. And I can tell you, since I've been over there in the planning office since March the 19th, she is on a daily basis, I think, working on those, going out, inspecting the properties, and she's putting a great deal of time and effort into that. So I'd like to recommend to the county commission that they appoint her as the director for the DAA board. It's not going to really change her job title, change the job title, but job description. She's still going to be doing the same job that she's been doing, but I just think it would be nice if the commission would recognize her and the work that she has been doing to help clean up some of the properties that are located here in Putnam County. She's doing a really good job at it. She's very enthusiastic and passionate about it, and so that would be my recommendation.
Just to clarify, because you said director of the DAA board, you mean director of the DAA program?
DAA
for
program,
Putnam
excuse
County,
me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Discussion?
I'll concur. Tina, from what we've seen, reports very in-depth, very thorough. As I joked about earlier, I'm serious. Some of these sites that we're seeing the photos of, and you're going on site, we may need to get you some personal protection. No, in all seriousness, appreciate the effort you put in. I've been a commissioner since January of 2013, and I was led to believe that DAA wasn't something that we could really pursue, and your efforts have changed that perception and changed our ability to clean up Putnam County. So I'm fully in favor and appreciate the efforts that you put forth.
I think she's done a wonderful job. Fantastic. Second.
I think all people want to know that they're making a difference, and like I say, you are making a difference, and I appreciate it.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Congratulations.
Table the last.
We had one more item on the agenda, discussion and decision to transfer funds from a general county account to other county funds.
Since we're so close to the end of the month, I'll make a motion that we table this till our June 15th meeting so we can have the end of May account balances before we do any transfers.
Second.
Have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anything else to come in front of the commission tonight?
I've got a budget revision and a
Okay.
few orders here. The budget revision is from the circuit clerk's office to decrease line item 30, which is contracted services, by $889.68, and to increase line item 59, capital outlay, of $889.68. That covers the difference of what the amount that was approved for their furniture funding. And then also on the same order, or budget revision, they're requesting to decrease office supplies adding $10,000 for office supplies and decreasing $10,000 through contracted services. This is for their record retention project as well as other organizational projects.
Make a motion to approve the budget revisions as been presented.
Second.
Have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I've got two orders here. Both are in relation to the American Recovery Act, as Treasury and the State Auditor's Office has recommended that in order to properly document the funds when they arrive, that we establish a new fund. So I've got two orders here. The first one is to create and establish special fund number 207 to be titled American Rescue Plan Fund. This is a special fund established by the West Virginia State Auditor to receive and account for funds received through the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021.
Make a motion to create and establish a special fund 207, the American Rescue Plan Fund, as has been presented.
Second.
Have a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the next order authorizes the Putnam County Sheriff's Tax Office to open and establish a separate bank account to be titled Putnam County American Rescue Plan Fund. This account is created to manage American Rescue Plan Act 2021 expenditures under Special Fund number 207.
Make a motion to approve the order for the new account as presented.
Second.
Got a motion, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next order is to issue a check from the COVID-19 fund in the amount of $107,258.26 payable to the Putnam County General County Fund, representing reimbursement of expenditures for COVID hazard and incentive pay expensed in April and May 2021.
Make a motion to approve the order as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Let me do this first. He has one more order. If you don't care, I'm going to jump up to board appointments for,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Eric Embry to serve on the Civil Service Deputy Sheriff Board effective July 1st, 2021, a term to expire June 30th, 2025.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a motion to, I think this should be, appoint Kathy Hess-Kraus to serve on the Putnam County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board effective May 27th, 2021, a term to expire December 5th, 2022.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a motion to reappoint William Craig to serve on the Putnam County Fire Service Board effective July 1st, 2021, term to expire June 30th, 2024.
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a motion to reappoint Tony Crego to serve on the Putnam County Health Department Board effective July 1st, 2022, a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Make a motion to reappoint David Rossi to the Putnam County Health Department Board effective July 1st, 2021, term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a motion to reappoint Judy Seidenstricker to the Putnam County Library Board effective July 1st, 2021, term to expire June 30th, 2026.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a motion to reappoint Rich Poland to the Putnam County E91 Advisory Board effective July 1st, 2021, term to expire June 30th, 2023.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 I believe the next agenda item involves the City of Hurricane. So again, out of abundance of caution with my position as City Manager, City of Hurricane, I will recuse myself and step out of the room.
Sign this first. And which one did you recuse yourself from? Okay. Which item are we going over now?
I've got two payment orders here. The first one is for issue a check from the General County Fund in the amount of $150,000 payable to Hurricane Fire and Rescue for startup operating capital for emergency medical services.
I'll make a motion that we
Authorize a payment.
authorize the $150,000 payment to the
Is
city
that
of Hurricane.
is that coming out of this year's budget?
It'll come out of this year's budget, but it'll be after, we expect to have a carryover, so it'll come out of, technically it's out of this budget, but it'll affect next year's budget because we'll have a little bit less of a carryover, but we'll need to apply that money somewhere anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second, have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 The second order I have here is issue a check from the General County Fund in the amount of $200,000 payable to Tays Valley Volunteer Fire Department for startup operating capital for emergency medical services.
Can Commissioner Skidmore return for this one?
I suppose he could, although he wasn't part of the decision that was made whenever we decided to allocate the funding to each one of those entities, so.
He was a part of?
He was not.
Was not, okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that what Jeremy stated for the $200,000 for the Tays Valley Volunteer Fire Department.
Got a motion? I'll second it. Motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 That's all I have for you today, Commissioners.
Did we miss anything? Hearing none, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn till our next scheduled meeting, Tuesday, June 15th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Second?
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.